failed, as a flop Substack webinar. It didn't work out. So I'm doing a random stream here on YouTube as a replacement to what I wanted. I'm not even sure who's going to show up for this. So let me start over what I try to do on Substack. Okay, so tonight's topic, for those that may not know or watch it, what happened was the name of the video here is C++ AI tax. It's a term that AI came up with. So I've been spending close to 1,500 roughly US on a C++, call it platform. Didn't go anywhere. If you read my webinar description, we would have a situation where C++ has this AI tax. It's very convoluted because you have header files, C++ files. Usually it has to read, every time you prompt with something to debug or add some, has to read all those files. And then basically it adds to the cost of burning more tokens. So that can be 2.6 times, from what the AI said, 2.6 times more expensive than Python. So that was a problem. So when you're adding or debugging, what happens is you have a stable version of this application, and then, as I said, you debug or you add a feature to it, then the something gets wiped out, and you go through that, in my case, for a good couple of days, probably a couple of weeks. And then what happened was I just asked AI, like, what's going on? And it came up with all these topics I've posted in the description. And it's called a debugging death loop, which it really is. Context refetching trap, because you're reading in all the header files, C++ files, for the prompt to get the context. Now, my query is, if somebody has a way to get around that. I'm not using GitHub. I'm not sure if GitHub would help. I am using VS Code in the project. VS Code with, as I said, Cline extension, CLINE extension for AI for my prompting. The only AI LLM I'm using and have been using for about a week now, quite happily and quite effectively and much cheaper, is Qwen 3.8 Max. The gauge, I'm figuring I'm probably spending anywhere from 1/3 to maybe half of what would cost with Sonnet 5, Opus 5, I'm not sure, but Qwen is very, very, very capable for both C++ and Python. So when I built around, starting last night to bring everything up to date, the simulations I got, started simulated trading, I was like, wow, it's really come along in a very short period of time, whereas I wasted a good couple of weeks on C++, with the bots and the whole 9 yards. It was a path, a rabbit hole I was willing to go down, but at this point, I don't think I want to go down it because of the expense and the risk of it. So I'm just going to stick with Python for now. It's still generating the old way with trading Python trading bots, no problem. All options, all futures, all CME I can add in. Also with ICE as well, so it's very good at that. The other thing, because I'm using Rhythmic, I could technically run this on Linux. It will not need to connect into the Rhythmic Trader Pro because it's self-contained using Protobuf. It's quite good, and the setup's good that I have. It's fairly fast. It's fairly doable. Because I have a low account, I think I'll be running no more than 2 or 3 strategies at once. So I'm not too worried about that. So the Python should be able to handle it. It's quite good. I'm very happy with it. Unfortunately, with the C++, I kind of overdid it. As I said, thanks for watching as well. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find a way, if I at some point want to do the C++ project again, the way to do it to be able to have the AI maintain the context. And we're dealing with, I believe it's Qwen 3.8, it's like 2 point, what, trillion? I shouldn't have these problems, but I did. Kimi is pretty good as well, the Kimi K3. As I said, I'm using Quen 3.8. I'm like blown away how good it is. I think it's as good as Opus, the latest Opus. Just very, very happy with it. And the pricing is not too exorbitant. So if you're worried about AI getting too expensive for coding, I've been researching on the OpenAI 5.6 Sol and all these other ones. It's still outrageously expensive. Same with, as I said, Claude. So I think a good substitute right now, what's turning out, is this Quen 3.8. Kimi K3 is pretty good as well. I think the pricing's the same, but I do know that the Quen 3.8 is much more capable. Debugging, even in the C++, I was blown away on it. But with all these issues I just mentioned, until I can figure out maybe using something like with GitHub or I don't know yet, how to maintain the context so it's not wiping out changes that it's already fixed. But I do know that the Python's a little more intelligent in grabbing and protecting that. We'll see later tonight as I've kind of revamped my Python scripting already. So we'll see. But so far so good. I'm happy just to stay on Python. Both C++ and Python right now, I'm just sticking it out with medium frequency. As I said before, with the high frequency trading, you're not really high frequency trading until you start getting probably well over a $500,000 trading account. And then you go, golly gee, I should be in the NICE. I can't remember who runs it, Equinox. Their data warehouse, same with the CME in Aurora, Illinois. Once you start getting into those data centers with direct market access, you're 100% very capable of doing direct market access. So that's what I wanted to present tonight. I'm not sure if my comments are working. Please let me know. I don't know. Because sometimes with YouTube, if they're not set properly, we get all screwy. So if anybody's watching, let me know. If you can comment or ask questions, that's what the whole purpose of this streaming is about, is to help you every Tuesday night. So I'm not sure if the questions are happening or not. Oh, we got one. Yes, thank you, Full Circle Perpetuals. Welcome back. Thank you. That was a really big critical moment there. Okay, so if anybody's got questions tonight, right now, let me know. In the meantime, as hopefully you're typing them up, just to let you know, I am preparing with the other site that I have, hftcode.com. As I said, I was hoping to have C++ trading bots on there. Obviously, that's not going to work. So what I'm planning to do is just keep everything in Python for now. All the bots that I'm trading, all the bots that are profitable, I will post those up on hftcode.com, and then you can use those for your own use. But as I said, it'll be a subscription service. So that's what I'm planning to do. Also, just so you know, the other website, the Substack, which I just tried live, didn't work all that well. That has some new posts on there. I put one purposely on Friday. So what I'm able to do is I'm able to record a lot of bid and ask spread, which I run. I analyze it, or I get the AI to analyze it with a very detailed report. I posted one on Friday for free so people can get it. And you can see how the markets are moving. And it was only from 2 o'clock till around 4 o'clock. And exactly around 3 o'clock, it came back. It said, yeah, the market makers are out. They're hunting for those stops. And the report confirmed it. So if you want to get those kind of analysis, that's the site to go to. Again, that's the orderbook.com for that type of analysis. It's blowing my mind on how capable it is. I did a whole report last night of NASDAQ strategy, a S&P 500 strategy. I'm trying to fix gold strategies. I'm trying to get my AI to pick oil, and so on. So we're constantly improving it. Once we get the profitable bots and trade live trading, that's the key here. And they prove to be profitable, then yes, those are the bots I'll put up on that website, hftco.com. If you want to read the analysis of how the markets move, yeah, so the order book, sorry, the orderbookedge.com is a substack for that info as well. So the first question from Unknown Crypto, can you link the bot site where we can find them? Uh, sure. Actually, yeah, if you go into the attached product listing, you'll see some products you can get. That's where the site is. And that right there is a starter package, I guess you could call it, because with the trading bots, you get the bots, but they need to connect into something. So essentially, you have to build out your own trading server or gateway server using AI so that my trading bots that you may want to use will connect into your trading server. The best thing I can probably do, and it works as it is right now, if you get any of those projects at hftco.com and they're attached somewhere in this stream as a product that you can get, and that will take you to that website, and it'll actually take you to the product. So if you are wanting sample coding, working coding for interactive brokers with Python scripting, and some simple technical analysis with orders for forex, for crypto, for stocks. It's all there, and it works. Our numbers of orders are going up because of it. So you can go there and check it all out. So that's where I now point people to if they want to learn algo trading. And right there, if you need, you could use that as a server. I always encourage people to use AI because AI is perfect now. It's very affordable. And you can build out your own trading server. And then you can build these future bots, these trading bots connect into it. And then boom, you could do orders and market data with interactive brokers, whatever asset class you want. I focus on futures and options with a CME. For full circle perpetuals, again, you got good questions, man. Do you think you could create an affiliate link for people to send other people to buy potential subscriptions for you? I could. I've done that before with other online businesses. It's kind of dodgy because if you get people being a so-called affiliate and they do bad representation on your company, it's on you because you're the owner of the business. So I'm kind of skeptical on doing that. But and again, my fees will be quite high as well. So I'm not sure if I do that. I will be doing advertising on Meta for sure on Instagram and Facebook because both platforms are now giving me some love and some much higher views than here on YouTube. So good, a new person, Ryan, a taser, I believe. Thanks, welcome. Hey man, got a question. Have you ever used OCaml for execution? Been really researching market making and latency speed, trying to understand the whole process. I've never used OCaml. I'm not sure how fast it is. To be truthful, with my deep dive into C++, I'm not sure what your end goals are if you're trying to use career. If you're doing career, wanting to going into the fields of market making, C++ is usually the standard, so I'd probably venture into that. Regarding, I can give you an answer on market making for C++. Yeah, you can quite easily develop trading strategies or bots for market making on things like CME. It depends upon your frequency on your orders because I think the brokers may put some limitations on that. They shouldn't, but they may. But if you want to go into that level of high-speed trading, you will only be able to use C++ anyhow. So as an example, I'm with Rhythmic. I talk a lot about Rhythmic. Some of the high-frequency trading shops still use Rhythmic as a data supplier. And the only API that they offer at that level, which is very expensive, the Diamond API, the only one that's available is C++. So that's your only option. and you can run C++ both on Linux and Windows. So again, to get really serious, yeah, C++ is your only option. So OCaml, I don't know. I don't know what kind of support you'll get with brokers for OCaml. I don't think you'll get much. But if you want to kind of eventually get there, yeah, C++ is your only option. I don't know if that's unfortunate, but I love C++. It's a great language. AI, I'm sure there's a professional way to handle that via AI, but the problem is I could probably do it with code, with Claude Fable maybe, or Opus 5, but it'd be very, very, very expensive. And when you're spending 1,500 and still not getting the job done, I couldn't imagine what the costs are to get to that level with C++ and AI. I'm not sure. C++ is a beast, but maybe how I architected it was wrong because there was I am GUI in there. But if I kept it all console, I'm sure I could have gotten it done with better architecture, and I may do that as well. But right now, with what I'm developing, is 100% C++. And as I said last night, I got simulated trades. That's the first time yet where we're at. Like I've been spending a lot of time on the news generation and the trading bots, with the C++ being able to convert one of these Python trading bots into C++ and get it running. That was a shock to me. I was able to accomplish that. But to get it actually trading in the markets, or by simulation, I should say, yeah, I'm seeing that now with Python. I'm sure I can do it with C++, but it's a much more. I have to. I'm not sure how I do it, but the good thing is there's better AI coming, and people are coming back to me. And I knew this would be a good LLM. It's Meta, the new. Well, it's not new. It's been out for a while. Muse. It's called Muse Spark 1.1. I was quite shocked on how affordable it is and the quality of code. I think I put it up on my Substack where it was a sample of simple build me an HFT system, and here's the code, and here's obviously it was a primitive system, but to be able to do that was very impressive. Coming back to questions here, sorry, the long rant. Okay, next question is unknown crypto 7114. Sorry, did you mean this one? IBKR trading bot hub? Yeah, exactly. Auto made it multi strategy trading with Claude AI. Exactly. Yeah. There's two versions. If you want to do the career path, there's an extra bunch of PDFs in there showing you each company has a whole completely each firm has their own completely different recruiting process and reasons on what they're looking for. That's something nobody talks about when they so-called talk about I'm an HFT guy and I'm going to show you how to get a quant job. Every firm is different, so that PDF covers that about 5 different firms. So, for instance, Rentec only want to know how you think. Optiver or Jane Street may be totally different. So, if you're aware of that, which is critical, yeah, I mean, that's a very important aspect. So there's a separate package for that, extra $20. Whoopee. Yeah, so that's the one for you, unknown crypto. Okay, full circle perpetual. What's the easiest way to turn market data such as volume into dynamic visualization to display on a website? Yeah, that's a good question. I'd probably go with the tech stack that I'm working with now. You could use your Python on the back end, and then on the front end through a dashboard, you can use JavaScript or JavaScript HTML. JavaScript is the best out there for visualization. There's some very good packages if you want them. They can be quite expensive. Lightning Chart's a great example. They do have an interface using JavaScript, so you can work with that. You can actually build that with AI as well. I mean, it's stunning visualization. So I would go with that stack is use your front end with JavaScript and there's some very capable open source charting packages like charts.js. I was shocked on what you can build, but I want to mention something. I've tried to do this with JavaScript, trying to build real time, real time charts was very difficult with even Claude. I had some difficulty with it, but that was about 2 months ago. And you know how AI updates so fast. What you could do if you are willing to go down the C++ path, if you go with IMGUI, there's another package that's attached to it called IMplot. I did build out a little mini C++ application that was very sophisticated at charting, and it would automatically build out some basic technical analysis. I was blown away as a route as well. So again, those names are for C++. I am GUI, I am GUI, and then I am plot. And with I am plot, it's blows my mind how good it is, and that's all open source as well. No problem. Unknown crypto. Your next question. Wait, I think I misunderstand your program. Is this a training program for getting a job or an AI bot? No, it's both. It depending upon what you want to do with yourself. If you want to do things solo, there's all these PDFs and the code and all that. But there's a few extra PDFs in there if you want to learn what to look for from training firms and what they expect out of you when you apply, what they're looking for, and it also has some sample prompts that you can use to build your own mock interviews, knowing what the firm is looking for. So that those PDFs are extra in that extra pack. Everything's the same. Everything's the same. The only thing that's different is for the career. You get these extra PDFs as well. So it's pretty good. No problem for you, Full Circle Perpetual. Thanks for the extra likes. I appreciate that. Okay, so what preview experience do I need? Well, it's better if I know your experience, but okay, this is what I like about Python. A few years ago, I think it was Britain, they wanted to teach kids on how to code. What language did they use? Python, because it's very easy and to start. So if you went ahead and wanted to learn Python from scratch, you can do that. And with the coding, because it's easy to understand Python compared to any other language. On top of that, with what I have, it's not a trading course or training like here's step one, step two. It just gives you all the code. Here's what you need to do to set it up with interactive brokers, and here's how to set it up with Claude Code. Then you're off to the races. From there, using the code samples that work, you should be able to get orders through interactive brokers if it's paper trading or real live trading. So that's what I'm saying. But alone on Python, you could do both in parallel. As I said, Python's very straightforward, and all that code is again generated by AI as well, because it's great. I mean, I love Python. I love AI. CERN sounds good. I'll look into it. It's very affordable, just so you know. I should make it a couple $100 once we go more professional, and that probably won't happen until the fall. Nuvi, welcome back. How you doing? C Sharp is another good one. I found that quite easy to learn. That's true, Nuvi. Yeah, I think C Sharp. But here's the thing with C Sharp. You're stuck on Windows, right? Nothing wrong with Windows, but people are moving off of Windows because of the updates. So that's why I push C++ and Python. And plus, if you're looking for a career with trading firms, most languages are going to use C++, Python for the research. That's pretty well the standards. And they may have JavaScript on the front end as well. So I don't know that, but those are your usually top two popular languages. Like nothing wrong with C Sharp. I just don't see a lot of .NET projects out there in the world of like high-end quant and high-end quant coding research. A lot of them are on Linux, so That's the language of C++ and Python. So that's that. If that helps you out, I'm not sure. I've used C Sharp is very good for AI. I mean, it's not as easy to work with as Python, but C Sharp's much better, much easier than C++. That's for sure. Unknown crypto again sounds awesome. Don't have much experience. Been using AI for years, so starting to get some good coding outputs. Yeah, as I said, I think the Chinese AI is now, man, I've really only been using for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. A couple of weeks ago was Kimi K3. It was much cheaper than the Claude and OpenAI. On top of now I'm using Quen 3.8. I'm telling you, man, I don't see myself coming off it unless it's so good. And for the price, it's so much cheaper than any of the Claude and OpenAI. As I said, like Meta's the one to watch with what they're putting out. I think they're trying to compete like China, where they have cheaper AI and good quality output of code. So I was quite surprised with Meta, the Muse Spark 1.1, and Thinking Machines coming along too, and it's not too expensive as well. So you already got two options there for outside of OpenAI and Claude, because there's so much new stuff coming out. Like I think Nvidia's building out their own. Amazon's trying to do something. I wouldn't be surprised TikTok's going to get back into more coding. Then there's the Grok and blah 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 blah. There's a lot. So if you guys got any further questions, let me know. Hopefully I've gone over enough about nothing wrong with C++, but as the thing grows, it gets more expensive, and as you add more features and debug, all that gets wiped out over time. So unknown crypto says thanks, bad man. He changed a career. NPW. Ha ha ha. I'm approaching almost 60, so I don't know all this young folk talk. Yeah, so I think I'll keep mentioning that. I think that's very important to understand is with the career path, all these websites that are getting in, trying to use not AI. Some of them are poo-pooing AI, which is a big no-no. But all these nerdy stuff that you can do with C++, that's all fine. That is so secondary because assessing the trading markets, that's way more important. And being able to apply math to it and reverse engineer it if you're going to get into real quant. I've said this before. You can do quant coding, you can do quant research. That's where everybody wants to go. The real money with $1 million, multi-million dollar packages is in systematic portfolio management. So your number one skill you'll need to know is portfolio management, without a doubt. And I think over time you'll see fewer and fewer quant coders, fewer and fewer quant research, because that's what the systematic portfolio managers are going to be using. They can do the same thing of what coders can do. They can do it. My first test with Quen cost me 13 cents to build out a simple, primitive, high frequency trading. That prompt, that result cost me only 13 cents. How do you compete against that? How and why would I want to keep some coder on hand or a team of coders paying out $500,000 when I can do it with AI and do it much cheaper, much faster, and also optimized? They don't get sick, they don't complain, blah, 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 blah. Same with quant research. The only thing I would care about is the trading strategies themselves and if they make money or not. And you can build out a whole fleet of them and build out what I've got, pipelines to orchestrate all the news and all that. It's like a factory what I've got. I'm up to 3,600 trading bot strategies right now. That don't mean anything because 300 of them may be deployable and maybe 10, 30 of them may be profitable. So, but being able to maintain all that and backtest them and run them, and not just that, but have an AI that picks off the right trading strategy for the moment. Because as I said, if you look at the orderbookedge.com, there is an article in there that will explain exactly what market data is happening at that time over 4 hours. It's very detailed and it tells you exactly what the market makers are doing and what to look for. I mean, I could go hog wild off that because it's all bid ask spread, raw data logs that are generated because I'm recording the data and then looking for opportunities there. And I think the AI is so advanced now where you can build out probably cheap agents to be able to adjust to what's happening in the markets and to be able to live and breathe that. Coding don't matter. Like coding like to be doing that as a human and at that speed you'd be like you'd be like that guy that Zuckerberg hired, the 10 million, is it $1 billion they paid that guy? I can't remember the name of the company that they took over. And he was paid basically $1 billion to stay on at Meta, and look what they've got. And if you're at that technical level, you're worth it. But that's so rare. I did an article last Friday about hiring PhDs and masters. You know, you only have so many grads. You're competing against the likes of Goldman Sachs and all the trading firms. Yeah, Alexander Wang, that's it. Thank you, Nuvi. Yeah, but you're competing against all these firms. I have no idea how these big, like smaller operator quant firms are expecting to get the best of the best with all these multi-billion-dollar firms and paying these guys like exorbitant amounts of money, and the talent pool is so small. And the other problem is that you with people, the big problem I think is if they are really good, that's great. What happens if they quit? That could be your firm, the end of your firm, right? Scale IA, that's it. You got it, Nuvi. Thank you. Yeah, when Facebook or Meta bought Scale AI, they were after this guy, and he's now the head of the AI department or the research at Meta. And now look at the new models he's bringing out. They just brought a new one, Glimmer, called which is true open source, and they're trying to mimic what a lot of the Chinese AI is, and it's quite good. And as long as they keep on track to keep the AI affordable, you know. And the other thing is, look at Shopify. I don't know if you saw the numbers there. It was all because of AI. And I have a Shopify, and I have to say their AI is amazing. And you can do very well on Shopify with their AI, and it's called Sidekick. I think that one's homegrown, so it's not like they went out and farmed out, to get OpenAI or Claude. It's their own solution. So some of these newer, cheaper AI models, like what Meta's bringing out, it's going to have impact. So again, from an employer standpoint, if you bring in people like if you let's say you bring in this guy like Alexander Wang, that's your whole AI shop. That could be the performance of your whole. What happens if that guy quits? Then you're done. If you have AI, it don't quit. That's the beauty of it. Anyways, full circle perpetual. Do you incorporate big news events into the bots, or do you find that not? Yes, it's very necessary. Depends upon everything comes down to timing and news events. So if you're lucky, where this is how it can work. If you watch my latest long form video here on YouTube, I think it was yourself that asked, yeah, put out this video on the end to end of the whole process. I did that. It's about a half an hour video, and it walks you through all the news gathering, which is important. But more importantly in that is the positioning and what the big firms are doing. Market makers, the participants, the producers, the CTAs, hedge funds, what their positioning is, why, how much that's critical to know. And then if you can mimic that type of trading and strategy development, yes, the news can help, especially in the options and futures market. That's why I focus on it. And that is like gold. Those are the biggest gold nuggets you can find. And then you can build trading strategies built around that. So yeah, they are very valuable. And yes, I do include that, the news as part of that. And those news events, it can be planned. Like when you look at the reports that I put out, and again, you can get free samples of those on my the order book the orderbookedge.com. You can get samples of that, and you can see the level of news is so good, and specifically for options trading and futures trading. And that's what the institutions are doing. If you can get and mimic that, like hedge funds will want you, all the big trading firms will want you. If you know how to position like how they do it and why, understand the risk, understand the correlationship with other assets, and knowing how to arbitrage. These are the key elements that I don't care if you're a starter coder in C++. That will pay you good money, couple hundred grand. But if you want the $1 million, well, multi-million dollar packages, is to understand what I'm talking about especially in the options market. That's so critical if that's the real quant you want, because and the AI is getting so good at it as well. So yeah, it's all important. The news events are very, very important because what will happen is if there's news events like the Strait of Hormuz, oil will go up like today. Everything else went down, all because of uncertainty of all this stuff in the Mideast. Oil went up. So knowing that, you can build really rock solid strategies. What I'm also doing is I ran some gold strategies, and I mentioned this before as well. Very important to know. There's the G1 strategies, what I call Generation 1. So my AI will develop a bot. It'll be Generation 1, period. That's it. Now what I'm seeing is a Generation 2 bots, which are taking a Generation 1 strategy. I should use the term strategy, not bots. A Generation 1 strategy. And if you go to my other website, quantlabsnet.com, you'll find a course in there. It's now pricey because of this. You apply the 400 trading rules from that course, futures and options, institutional trading, 400 rules. They get applied to a Generation 1 strategy, becomes a Generation 2 strategy, and that strategy will most likely way outperform a Generation 1 strategy. And this is stuff that the standard retail trader will not know because they're not true quants. But with this stuff and with the mindset to understand institution, it's a big difference. Alone in the coding rules and strategies and math used, it's mind blowing the difference. So that's the end, for me. That's the end goal, to be a better automated trader, solo quant, whatever you want to call it. But that's really the name of the game. The coding, as I said, I keep saying, the coding is so secondary because the AI now with the Qwen 3.8, it's so advanced that does all the heavy lifting as well. I haven't really played with Claude, Opus 5 or Fable 5. I've not really played. It's so expensive, but Qwen 3.8 is very capable to get you to the point where how all these HFT firms are trading. I have no idea how the HFT firms are going to keep be innovative. I could do market making strategies. I could do all kinds of crazy strategies. Okay, I have long answers, but keep piling on the questions. I'll gladly answer whatever's out there. So if you're a quant, that everybody says they're a quant. Like I got guys with MetaTrader, and they're saying, "Oh, I'm an HFT researcher." Like it's a joke. It's a complete joke. Nuvi, very good question. I can see that already. Once the strategies are proven to work, could you approach a prop firm to trade with their capital? There's a better way. I can't remember the name of the website. Again, AI told me this website. There's two ways to go about it, and let's say you have strategies that are working that are profitable. okay, and they're consistently profitable, and they are generating, we'll call it alpha, meaning beating the market. That right there, you're probably 5% in the top 5% of traders. So if you're able to consistently generate alpha, and then your next step is because you now have the mindset of being a real quant, we'll just say. So once you get there, what I would probably recommend is to get you onto a website called kinfo.com. I just checked this out again. That website is a trade journaling website, probably the best in the business. What you can do is you can sync your trading account, your broker account with it to prove your trading. So you build a track record of all these beating the alpha strategies and portfolio performance. Once you start doing that and you go onto social media and brag about it, as somebody mentioned here, just do live streaming on this. That's one way to get attention. The better way to get attention that you're controlling is via LinkedIn. If I told you the people that I have got responses from and the attention of, is via LinkedIn. It's pretty incredible to reach on LinkedIn. So you start posting stuff on LinkedIn. That's another option. But the better, if I know the name of this website, what can happen is you can get your trading account hooked up into the service. So what happens is this is who who you're going to reach in terms of hedge funds, real hedge funds, and they will throw money at you. So let's say you have a strategy that looks good, a bunch of strategies, they have leaderboards, all that. So if you get to a point where you're getting attention, a hedge fund may approach you, and the hedge fund may offer you the standard rate of a 2%. What's it? A 220, right? So you get 2% up front, a 20% take, I believe, on the back end, or they offer you a 3 and 30 as well. So you can get investment from these hedge funds, and then what will happen is you continue your trading. They will seed you with real money in the millions, and and you could do well. That's another option. I also do know another firm that will lease your trading signals as well if you have a proven track record. So those are the routes I'd go. And these are high frequency trading firms out of UK, out of London, that I know of. I think they're pretty hard to get attention from. But if I told you the contacts that I have now, like I'm getting founders of large quant firms coming into my LinkedIn, into my own ecosystem because of the topics I talk about with C++ and specifically in the last round of C++. So that's the way I would do that. Yeah, so Nuvi, if you're in the UK, I know when I'm doing well. Like I'm born in the UK, so I have my UK passport. So yeah, I mean, if there's the opportunity, I'm ready to get on a plane, right? But I have some folks that are directors at some brand name HFT firms that are members of mine. So when I know I'm doing well in the quant research stuff, my stats from UK go up immensely. It's either UK, US, and India. But if I get a sudden day of traffic coming in from the UK, I posted something really good from the UK because to me, the best trading firms right now seem to be in London or Chicago because that's where the futures and options markets are. That's what I'm seeing. So, there's a lot of ideas there for attention. Now, you asked specifically about prop firms. There are a few prop firms which will remain nameless here. They advertise and make it, oh, you can get a Lamborghini and a Ferrari in a short period of time if you're a good trader. I call that out BS because if you go to the same firm and just ask about their payout, usually they may not pay you out ever. and there's lawsuits over it because you've broken some kind of rule or you didn't meet some kind of rule to get your payout. It's horrendous what they try to pull off. Just a seems to be like a scam artist. So I don't know if prop firms is something I would work with, but hedge funds, like everything but hedge funds. And I get all the schlocky forex brokers all the time. It's crypto or forex, and you just don't want to attach your name to them. They're just schlocky. I mean, I've done a little bit with Awanda. I did an event with Awanda a number of years ago, and Mumu as well. I mean, I don't know if you know Mumu out of Asia. Like they're huge in Toronto now. That was a year ago, I think or 2 years ago. I worked with Mumu at one of their in their office for a meetup. They're amazing. But I've worked with all kinds of firms, but that's all retail stock and whatnot. But if you want to do very, 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 very well, I can only recommend op, futures, options on futures, futures on options. Yeah, futures on options. Because let's say the markets go down, the stock market, okay, you're screwed because everything's sinking. But if you're with futures, take a look at sugar, man. Like sugar's doing incredibly well. Like everyone goes, gold, buy gold, buy gold. No, buy sugar, buy sugar. Sugar's doing incredibly well. Yeah, I just found Mumu designing an integration for into their platform now. Yeah, Mumu's pretty good. I had no problem with Mumu at all. But they wanted me to sign up with them, and I wasn't quite prepared to do that because I'm already with Interactive Brokers, and I mean, what I saw with Mumu was pretty incredible on their platform. They're really into Python and so forth. But I just didn't want to get distracted by what I'm doing right now, and going from with Interactive Brokers, which are and then getting into real futures broker like an Edge Clear. They've been phenomenal. They've left me alone, being excellent at returning emails, very good customer support, and I'm happy. And then I spent the last year and a bit optimizing with the AI. Look where we are now. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm focused, and I just want to focus trading on my own terms. I don't need to be with these big brokers. Nothing wrong with them. I just right now it's not my shtick, right? I'd rather be on my own and just build up my own thing. Might be smaller, obviously, but people seem to get excited with what I do. But I think somebody, yeah, I think it was Perpetual, Full Circle Perpetual said, yeah, I think it was you, saying you should do live trading. Yeah, I should do live trading. I agree. So that's going to be something, and I'd probably do it on Substack. I think. I'm not sure where yet, but we'll see. Restora Lofi. Is that right? Welcome. I created a bot in Rust and C. It connects to my broker API and execute trades on my spread betting account. Can switch to live and demo. Profits are also not taxable on spread betting accounts. That tells me you might be in UK because I've heard that. Yeah, I'm sure that can be done. That's a common thing. You can do that with Python. You got Rust and C. I guess the question follow up to that: do you see any difference between performance with Rust and C versus Python? I don't know, but I'm not sure your level of. I guess your spread betting must be pretty low latency to do that. But as I said, with Python and Rhythmic, I'm able to process bid and ask no problem quite quickly on Python, no problem. Obviously, C++ can be better, but yeah, everybody's in UK tonight. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, I mean, I know spread betting can be good as well, but I haven't really looked into it, to be honest. Is that spread betting with crypto, or like what asset class are you using that with? Because I know there's crypto and then there's sport betting as well. Unfortunately, latency on the broker's side kills those spread betting. Yeah, so spread betting, is it sports, or is it probability markets, like with what's it called, Kaishi and the other one? Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Rust and C execute way faster than any other language because they are lower level, closer to the CPU. Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I know C, and that was my first language, and it was such a simple language to master. And I don't really know Rust because, again, I think C++ is enough. I mean, you could go in splitting hairs over Rust versus C++, but for me, I'm just doing C++, eventually want to get back into it in Python. Yeah, so that's pretty cool what you're doing. I'm not sure what venue you're using, but yeah, the broker's a problem. Now, one thing I could say about Rhythmic is you won't find that problem because you can move up into the professional grade APIs like Diamond at Rhythmic, and you're still in the futures and options world. And that's the largest, it's a derivatives market. It's one, I think it is the largest market in the world. And you also have the currency market, the real currency as well. Correct, but the feed to the broker is using renders, all the fast inferencing useless, even when the API connection to them. Yeah, you'll find that also the same with interactive brokers because of how they aggregate the data. Wouldn't surprise me. And that's why I'd rather get people to move over to Rhythmic because it's just a cleaner data feed when it processes. Right now, I'm working on is like I had it working, no problem with the Nasdaq, but it was choking off the the two gold strategies. So I thought, okay, now I've just got the answers back from Quen to fix all that and ready to fire it up for tonight to see what happens. I was running ES and NQ strategies, and they were no problem. But as soon as I saw the gold, nothing. But it was beautiful. It was the ticks were coming in. It was amazing. All done in Python, same. And I got it in the long form video. You could see that in the C++ app as well. So I got to that point. It was just start. Well, I've already talked about that earlier in this uh, in this stream. Got three more here. So Bruno Lith Mother. Okay, hang on here. What source do you use for equity level 2 market data, MBO, depth, etc? As I said, I'm using Rhythmic. That's all you need. And then I use the AI to get into all the other things that you're looking at to develop depth, MBO. I can also do pretty well. I got options as well. I'm able to access option chain, and you can't really stream it. You can only really snapshot like every minute because it will time like the servers on the other end of Rhythmic will time out. You gotta remember you're on a lower level Rhythmic API, so they time out if you're putting in too many requests. But you can do it if you do, I don't know, a minute, 2 minute snapshots with option chain data. So it's very capable to do that, and that was able to do that with Python as well. It's pretty impressive. So Rhythmic does it all. That's what I'm saying. Interactive brokers, I'm questioning on. Restore OFI again. I'm not trading latency with or anything like that. So speed is not an issue. I just know C and Rust better than other languages. My bot uses level 2 overflow data. Yeah, but as you said, if your data provider or your provider through your brokers too wonky, we'll say, yeah, I would probably look at a different venue and a different broker. But so far, the only one that really works that I've seen really well, I mean, if you're doing like crypto, like Binance is impressive. I was doing really good stuff with Binance when I had access to it. I don't know now. Same with Coinbase and Kraken as well. But I think things have changed. We're going back into 7, 8 years ago, but it's all changed. But for now, if you're doing legit regulated stuff, Rhythmic's really cool. So we got here full circle perpetual still there. Can someone buy access to the local servers at the exchange, or is the only for institutions? No, I mean you can do it. As I said, if you're going to go that route, you better have a big account, probably multi-million. The data feeds, if you're going to do that with the Aurora data feed, data center, which is owned by CME, and that's where the Globex matching engine is which is probably the majority of trades go through with institutions. You can get access to it, but you got to pay. So one way to get through is, as I said, is a Diamond API, which is from Rhythmic. So that will definitely get you in there. Now you want to be hosted in there as well because you want to be direct market access. So you can do that. As I said, you'd have to have a large trading account, probably half a million. You have to have for sure a winning strategy because there's no point in doing it. Some of the data feeds, custom data feeds, are going to run you 5 to 10,000. Plus, if you're going to do half rig, full rig, it can run you $25,000 per rig, depending upon what you want to trade and the volume. So it can be done. It's just you got to have the money. So institution has nothing to do with it. It's just what you have available to you in terms of resources financially and also the trading account size as well. And I would probably, from the research I've done, you probably need pushing $1 million and 100%, 100% winning, a high probability of winning strategy for sure. Rhythmic is the way to go. I can get 1 millisecond to the exchange. Yeah, exactly. Even if you are, in my case, from Chicago to Toronto, it's pretty good. It's definitely faster than Interactive Brokers, for sure. And there's not many brokers that I've seen. Like if you go with TradeStation, you go with Ninja, you'll probably have the same problems as Interactive Brokers. And then you got the limitations of the platforms as well. So with APIs, because they support, as I said, Python, .NET, C++, and Python with Rhythmic, so it's easier. So Brunei Mother, how reliable is it? Now, if you're referring to Rhythmic, wholeheartedly, there's no problem with Rhythmic at all. I mean, the HFT shops are still using it. High frequency trading shops. I mean, once you get in with CME directly, there's no need for Rhythmic at all. I mean, but you got to pay to play with CME. But Rhythmic's from a retail perspective, I don't think you can get closer and better with Rhythmic. There's CQG as well, but they're very expensive. Rhythmic's the right way. So restore, it still affects your fill and slippage. Yeah, I don't worry about stuff like that on Rhythmic. Yeah, so you're on Rhythmic as well. Great. I mean, it's an easy sell for anybody else. Bruno time mother. I sorry if I got it wrong, man. I just their API and Rhythmic is top of the book only for equity. When you say equity, I'm not sure if you're meaning like ES and like the market indices, ES and NQ. Yeah, for sure. Now, if you're doing it with single stock, they don't do that because it's features and options. But I got emails. I'm trying to understand the offer with. I'm with EdgeClear now. They're saying they can support 53 of the biggest stocks out there, independent single stock, and they offer that through EdgeClear. Now I don't know who the underlying data provider is. I don't know who the broker is, but it's there. And the other thing is Nasdaq, I believe, will go 24/7 like crypto, so that's possible. So Restorify, I'm looking into abnormalities detection using math random. Pretty interesting results. Testing on demo accounts. Baha, here's a tip for you. If you have access to Rhythmic, what you want to do is record all your bid and ask spread data. and then record the logs because, as I said, I got a sample AI report, and the AI is just mind blowing what you can do with it and what comes out of it, and provide those logs as data source to really analyze that, and you'll get what you're looking for. It's quite good. I okay, so full circle perpetual. What type of anomalies? From my perspective, those anomalies could be things like I haven't really generated a report, but I have a bunch of logs for ES and NQ. Now, when I did it on Friday, as I said, that one report was detecting early stages of market makers, are right around 3 o'clock. So those are sort of anomalies I'd be looking for. Plus, the bid-ask spread tightens here and there. Apparently, as an example, another hint that I've been told, if you're trading retail forex, I'm sure this can be said for obviously FX and the futures and options. What happens is you'll have these, let's say you want to trade Turkish or some exotic currency, like Hong Kong dollar is a very good example of that. So let's say you want to trade Hong Kong dollar, but the spreads are out of whack. You don't want to take them because they're too wide. What you can do is for position, what a lot of the Asian trading desks, what they do is they're opening up at around 12 a.m. Well, 1 a.m. our time, because I'm Eastern Standard Time. And what they do is they start buying. So that spread, let's say Hong Kong dollar and US dollar, that starts to tighten for a while. And then it goes back to its crazy widespread because that overnight with the Asian markets buying Asian currencies, you can take advantage of that as that spread tightens. Another example is that when you look at UK British pound when Europe opens up, as well our time or my time, Eastern Standard Time. So those are some other interesting anomalies you can look at with FX markets. So restore well. For example, you can use math random to detect when the market is not random. Then place trades when the market is in non-abnormal state. When it detects abnormalities, it exits your trade. Yeah, it sounds like it's that's quite interesting that you like SpaceX as an example. Like like if you get in early with the VCs, the venture capitalists, and the private equity who have done the IPO or bought before the IPO, so they're quote unquote. That's when the market's tight for SpaceX stock. So once it goes public, that's when the retail markets jump in, and they buy up and pump up the price of SpaceX like 20-30%. And then the VCs, private equity will exit out of those trades because of the retail liquidity coming in, and they exit and they profit. So the ones that are holding the bag is the retail crowd, the dumb money. And that's why they either lose or don't get the same benefit as the early IPO participants like the VCs and private equity. So that sounds very interesting. What you're doing is similar to that, where let's say the market is in non-abnormal state. That's probably the retail crowd, and use that as your way to exit with the liquidity because the retail crowd comes in. It sounds similar, and you can do that same with the penny stocks as well. Like if you watch Timothy Sykes, he does the same thing, and he does the same thing. Buys early, and then he allows the dumb money to exit. Yeah, so exactly that. Thank you, Restore. It sounds exactly that. Yeah, one tip I can give you, I think, is get the logs generating for your bid and ask for whatever you're watching, and just run AI against it. And just you provide the log itself, and then just ask the AI looking for trading opportunities in that log. You will be blown away on what it will tell you. And especially if it's something like an advanced AI, it doesn't have to be Claude or OpenAI. Quen, Kimi, the latest versions of those do a nice job of it. DeepSeek would be a good one too, because remember, I keep saying, DeepSeek was started, the founder ran a quant shop. So his early stages of DeepSeek were applying a lot of quantitative techniques into that LLM. So you'll find some very interesting things that can be exposed by looking at those bid and ask logs. I think you'd be blown away on that. So hopefully people get some interesting topics out of that. But again, that's for the people that are on that as well, because a lot of the retail, we'll call them doom scrollers that just scroll, like what they're doing right now on this stream, will not get that information. And that's the dumb money, because they see something moving because they read about it or see it online, and they jump in at the wrong, too late in the game, and then the smart money will use that as liquidity, as the exit liquidity to get out, and they get a nice 10, 20, 30% bump. Anybody else got questions? In the meantime, I forgot to mention, I did mention this kinfo.com, the journaling software for trading. Again, kinfo.com. In that leaderboard, I looked this guy up. His name's Stephen Dux, Dux. I think he's the number one trader on the planet. And then I looked into him. What he does, he looks for the reverse of shorts. And he's a classic shorter. He's gone from, I don't know what he started at. Like, it was not a big amount, like 20,000. And he's apparently now worth, and he's not even, he's young. He's probably, I don't know his age exactly, but he's got to be in his late 20s. He's not been trading long. He's worth $50 million. And the amazing thing is, all his trades are put up on this K-Info. So all his trading performance verified, and is out there on K-Info. So if you look at his prices, because he's a trading guru, I think he's probably the most valuable trading guru out there, because of this. He's a real verified trader with his performance. So his course is now $8,000. You want to be on his monthly thing, $800. This guy can easily charge that kind of money, because he's a high performance trader and he's verified. Again, it's Stephen Dux, and apparently he owns 2 Koenigseggs, the Swedish exotic cars. He's incredible, and he's very humble too. Like, I've watched a few of his interviews. I'm very inspired by him. Really young guy, and he's from China, but he was brought up in the U.S. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, Stephen Dux, Dux. Like, if you see people that are verified with their performance on Kinfo or some other sites, I think these are people that should be respected. Even if they're losing money, I think there's more value in losing trades and posting them and talk about them why, and then you reverse engineer and go, I see. There's more value in that than just some guy putting up, like, on TikTok, oh, look at me with my MetaTrader, I'm an HFT guy, buy my course, buy my whatever, and no track record. I don't want to, well, it is garbage, basically, and people get scammed because of it. And I get emailed all the time on this stuff. But if you're verified, man, yeah, but you got to pay. If you are verified, you will have to pay, without a doubt. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, Nuvi, yes, K-Info, great. I just checked into the site. It looks brilliant. It's the number one website, according to Google AI, Gemini, for this thing, for verification on trading performance. It's not expensive either, and I think there's a lot to be said to take away from that, even on your own trading. There was another one that was very good. It used I mean, this is a year ago, before AI became what it is today. And you can use AI to really understand your trading performance. And as I said, it's just amazing what you can do with AI. especially now with Quen. Like Quen 3.8's pretty incredible, and it's fairly affordable. I'm spending $50 a day, whereas a week ago I would spend $200 a day using whatever Claude. And I'm heavily pounding the prompting. I've generated like some prompts that were half an hour on Quen. Man, $16. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, if you guys got questions or answers, let me know. Thanks for the likes. I'm well liquidated here for a, uh, a long session if need be. But yeah, I get excited by having folks like you on this stream. That's why I like doing them. Because I learned one thing I should put out there. We got a few people here. Two things. The conspiracy. Thank you. First thing is who believes that Quen and all these Chinese AI and LLMs will put backdoors in your code. There's a guy somewhere online I had the typical argument with. I'll answer all these questions here in a minute. So, who believes that Chinese AI, Quen, DeepSeek, all of them put backdoors in your code? The guy was going on, it depends upon the parameters and the weights, and he didn't provide any source information, but I did look up on Reddit. There are claims, but there's no real sources that I've seen that state that and back it up. Even the AI prompts I put up, they say there's no indicator that is happening. And just let me know if that's true or not. That's number one. So here's a question. Have you ever thought of running AI locally on your PC? I'm kind of getting warm to it, but I heard with Kimi K3, yeah, your rig is going to have to be pretty solid. If you go on to Reddit, apparently, like you need like heavy duty rigs to run it. Like even a $5,000. I can't remember the Nvidia setup that they got, but it's a $5,000. My stance is this: if I spend $5,000 on whatever GPU rig, Nvidia, whatnot, that thing is going to be obsolete very quickly because the LLMs are growing so quick, and I want to use the latest and greatest LLM. If I know I can put Quen locally and it's an affordable hardware setup, I'd do it. But the thing is, there's reports. If you go looking out for Kimi K4 that's coming out, this thing's going to be much bigger than K3. So I don't know what kind of rig you would need to do that. So I think it gets to a point where you're just better off to keep it via cloud or cloud only, or build your own VPS. I think that'd still be fairly expensive, and just use these aggregator services as well. I don't know. It's a hard one. But if you're trying to do basic kind of local AI, yeah, it's fine. I got guys telling me they're got Gemma on their phones now. So I mean that's the name of the game, right? But these are the basic LLMs for just hello, how are you, what's your name, basic questions. But if you're trying to do what I'm doing, generating code, heavy duty, yeah, you need a good like Quen 3.8. Kimi can do it as well, but I'm way preferring Quen 3.8. So locally, I think it's going to be a challenge. Honestly, I don't know, but have no useful information to them, so it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Nuvi, when it comes to that regarding if you're referring to the back doors. It doesn't bother me either because I'm going through an aggregator. I think if you use directly Quen, just go to the Quen site, Alibaba or whatnot, and sign up, give your credit card, I think you're in danger there. Yeah, I agree. But if you're going through like a Hugging Face or something like that, nah, I don't think because it's going to be the credentials are going to come from Hugging Face. So I'm not too worried going that route. And I use these new Chinese AI models, no problem. So I'm not, as you say, I'm not too concerned about it as well. The new Kimi is insane. It's basically Claude Fable. Yeah, I don't know what level Quen 3.8 is at, but I do feel it is definitely exceeded Opus 4.8 for sure. I don't know at what level the Quen 3.8 is. From what I understand, only Fable and Opus 5, and then number 3 was Quen 3.8. So you can imagine what's coming out from from Kimi or some out of the blue other Chinese LLM provider. And don't forget that Meta's in the game now as well. So that's another big thing to consider. And as I said, there's thinking machines. Like thinking machines released their first model, and I will say I'm impressed. Can't remember the name of the model, but it's from one of the OpenAI engineers, and there's a lot of hype on her. I think she's Albanian. Yeah, so she's running Thinking Machines. That's the provider, and they have one model that I've tried, and it wasn't that expensive, and that's U.S. based as well. So, OpenAI and Anthropic are going to have some big challenges ahead of themselves. OM the oh God, I don't want to slaughter this. Hello, Mr. Brian. Greetings from Unique FX. And what about GLM? I forgot about GLM as well. GLM's quite impressive. I've tried the GLM 5.2 just before the Kimi came out, and I would have said, GLM 5.2 is probably the best one at that point, but I haven't seen anything yet come out from ZAI to keep in the game. You have to realize I think Kimi just did their IPO. I don't know if it's in China or in Hong Kong. I know, who is it? ZAI, I think they're in Hong Kong. So they did their own API now. So they're going to have to be really good and be able to compete. And then there's Quen with Alibaba saying, that they're going to subsidize the AI. But they said now they're going to start pushing the subscription now. And anything new will be, you will have to be with like a subscription. Hopefully, I can still get them through whatever Hugging Face or whoever Open Router. Those type of providers I do like. They're not expensive, but I use this stuff like like what's that drug? Meth. But I just spent almost $1,500 freaking dollars on the C++ stuff. I'm like the suicidal. Have you seen the liquid AI you can run on your phone? No, I haven't. But as I said earlier, Restorify. Yeah, I've heard about that. But when you get Gemma or Google in on the game, I mean, everyone's going to go with Gemma, right? And I've heard that somebody's got Gemma on their phone. I know there's an open source that enables that on Android, because good old Apple won't allow you to do this sort of thing on their iPhones. But it's interesting. It's an interesting world, and it's changing so fast. And the beautiful thing is for us, the consumer, it's a race to nowhere for these or for these LLM providers. But we're going to benefit. It's going to get cheaper, better. I'm all for it. So if you got any other questions as well, I forgot. OM kin the unique effects. Oh, unique effects. We'll just say that. If you got a question, let me know. I know you've been tracking me on QuantLabs.net info, quantlabsnet.com. So I've had 3 websites, but I know I've seen you on that. So if you got a question, let me know. Glad you're here. You guys got any other questions as well? I know I should be talking about C++ and Python, but I do think most of it's driven by AI now. As I said earlier, AI is the coding agent. AI is your employee. So he comes back, says, I will want a candid advice. Just starting my journey. Should I focus on quant dev, or should I also add AI ML engineer? Yes, focus on the AI, because that will put you in with quant dev as well. In fact, what I said earlier, if you just joined, focus on moving into portfolio management. So there's a lot there to learn if you're starting on your journey, but I would try to focus on futures and options, focus on institutional, how it works, and stay in that mindset. Don't go down the path of retail, sorry. And then on the coding front, We have the AI, what I'm doing now with Quen 3.8, very cheap, I must say. Yeah, and let the AI develop the code for you. And just focus on the trading ideas and understand how the market data works and flows and understanding the impact of that. That's the nitty gritty. And let the AI code it for you. That's where we are now. New person, Tariq, hello, how are you? Welcome. Do you treat AI code as a manager? Uh, let me see what you else got here. Meaning a manager doesn't read or understand the code, but trusts those that write it were capable enough to not cause issues. Okay, yeah. There's a couple of things I need to mention here. There's something called hallucination. I've not seen hallucination in code for a while. You may still get that with some of the Chinese models, but I think that will come to an end soon. But if you're using like OpenAI and Claude, that shouldn't be a problem. In terms of AI code as a manager, you're the manager. You're the person in charge. So you use the AI as your assistant, as your tool to code up, come up with whatever you want. That's how I'd use it. Because manager means that AI is running you. So I'm sure that's not what you want. So you want you to be the manager. You want to be in the driver's seat, and you let the AI generate what you want. The key there is to know how to prompt and prompt properly. The more data you provide as part of your prompt, the better results you'll get. Do not let the AI, what's the word, synthetically generate data for you. That's dangerous. You will not get the results you want. I would stick with providing as much data, real market data as possible. As I said, rhythmic as well. That's important. Meaning a manager doesn't read or understand the code but trusts those who write it if capable enough to not cause issues. Yeah, I'm doing that with Quen right now. I've been coding since, well, I'll just say 40 plus years. I have not done any hand coding in many months. Do I trust what's generating? Absolutely. I had somebody send the sample code that the AI generates to some validating service to see if the code is valid, optimal. It came out almost perfect, so I wouldn't worry about that. So yeah, you can rely on the code, but you got to know and understand the code. Doesn't mean you be lazy and just go with the code. That's not smart. You got to still know debugging, more importantly, the architecture. So when you do get into situations, because AI will fail you, definitely, but you got to know when to step back and be able to use your human-based skills from general IT, but specifically in architecture and debugging. When you do run into some sort of trap or where the AI coding just goes round and round and round, you're not really getting anywhere. And remember, you're spending money on that. I just came away with a $1,500 bill on that with C++. So if you have the skills to be able to step back and know have experience with coding, then you're good to go. So the coding itself is fine. It just depends you as the driver of the process and being able to tap into your resources and knowledge when things get, we'll just use the word trap, which is what they really are. Hope they all answer that question. Since I'll be using AI, then I should focus on better prompt engineering. 100%. But as I said earlier, what you provide, not just in the prompt, it could be an image, it could be a PDF, it could be whatever. The more data you provide in your prompting, the better results you'll get. 100%. Do not allow these AI to generate code that will generate simulated synthetic data. It's going to go off the rails so bad. So if you're doing it for trading, you got to get access to the data. So for futures and options, I'm with Rhythmic, $40 plus that's $40 for the market data, and $100 for the API. Okay, access. It's worth every penny. You'll get real world data, and you can generate your own market data, or sorry, historical data from that as well. So Restore AI comes back. Me and five or six others are all thinking chipping in and renting a powerful VPS and sticking the new Kim AI on it. I don't think you need to really worry about the cost. I would go with something like Open Router, Hugging Face. You know, if you're spending a couple $100 a month with Kimi, it's way cheaper. When Kimi K4 comes out, you just change the model on your code. That's it. It's a much easier transition, and it's much more manageable. And do you really want to go in and manage some kind of cloud solution for Kimi? I think you're going to have potential problems. That's just another thing you got to maintain. You want to code. You want to code, man. Research and focus on that, and be good at that. Okay, I'm just going to say unique FX. How can I get in the World Quant University from Nigeria? I'm starting by taking the Harvard MIT cross courses. I think obviously that's all name. So that's a hard one. It depends on your end goal. Like if you're trying to do, let's say, I don't know, you're trying to get a degree from the West, like UK or US, by attending the schools, do it. They're the world's leading. In terms of these credentials, they'll help. I'm not sure if you're asking for employment out of this. I'm not sure how much of a difference that will make. But I will say this as a career tip. If you want to get into this field, you can be a code master for sure. But what the firm's really going to be looking for is your GitHub and your trading system that you wrote or the AI wrote. They're going to want to see your track record. They're going to want to see your skills with what I've talked about all throughout this stream, assessing market data and being able to analyze it, being able to look for trading opportunities, specifically from a futures and options perspective. Now, if you can do that, preferably get your verified trading account. They will come to you. I can guarantee that. That's the best path without the education. Hopefully, that'll help you out. So, which VPS can you recommend for us? I know there's a German one. I think it's called Hostinger. They look pretty good. They're pretty affordable. They're out of Germany, so that and they seem to be pretty rock solid. The one I would use is Vultr, VULTR. That's a cloud provider. So if you want to do AMD GPUs, you can do that through them. They can also set up Linux, and they're pretty affordable too. Very competitive, decent service. That's something I'd also look into. And apparently, I just learned what's that one? Ocean, DigitalOcean. They have now their own AI solutions as well. So you may look at that. I think they're cheap, but I'd be questioning them. But the one I'd recommend is definitely VULTR, Vultr, and for VPS, maybe Hostinger. I don't know. Depends upon what you're paying for it. Because if you go cheap, you pay you on the price that kills you. So who else? I've got to the end of the queue there. Oh, more. Nuvi Breeze Host, 1 millisecond to see him from $40. I'm gonna write that down. Breeze Host, 1 millisecond to see me. Interesting. One thing I should say with Vultr, they do have data, the servers in the CME building, and the only thing that's separating Vultr from CME is the wall. Sorry. If you go into the Tokyo Vultr as well, you're one wall away from being next to the Binance servers as well. So you can get into the warehouse, data warehouse where they exist, but depends upon how it's all wired up. Because I'm sure Breeze Host is the same thing, where they're in some location, which is the same where the Chicago CME is. So I don't know on the latency on that. So the ultimate goal you want to get is into the CME data in Aurora. Once you tell somebody you're in Aurora for CME, then you have arrived. You are a real institutional level trader because you're paying for that as well. All right, sir. Well said. So, what is the full roadmap to becoming a portfolio manager from having zero coding experience? Well, I would focus on Python. It's the easiest language. If you have no coding language, start coding, which you already stated. What I would do, and I'm not here to toot my horn, I would look at, again, hftcode.com, because there, if you go with Interactive Brokers, the most global broker out there, Python scripting works with Interactive Brokers Trade Worker Station. You can do everything in TWS. We got the Claude. You can get just one of these little products there, $50 US, and start learning there. I built it for that. And as I said, I'm going to build out trading models that I'll have available on that same website, as well as a subscription service as well. So that's where to go, hftcode.com. Oh, and I keep referring, just keep going to the product at the bottom of this stream. Click on one of them and it'll take you to that exact product what I'm speaking about. That's what I'd recommend. I guess it's yeah, I'm tooting my own horn, but that's probably the most logical because it's working coding examples where you will be able to push out real orders, simulated, and collect market data in simulation, paper trading mode with interactive brokers. Restorai, if you don't need level 2 data for your bot strategy lookup, I take very fast speeds. Another one. Great tips, Restorai. Appreciate that. Another one that I liked was IQ Feed. IQ Feed is very good. But here's the difference. If you're going to pay $150, go with because you'll also get the ability to put in orders, actual order execution as well for the same price. So do consider that. Just don't focus on market data. Because you can get the same market data from Rhythmic, but you can also turn around and do your trading as well. Simulation or real trading. Because it's a real one that it's the underlying provider, data provider for a lot of the future brokers or CQG. Also, Nuvi said, also trading effects VPS is another one that cross-connected to CME. Yeah, I'll look at these trading effects. There's a bunch of them. But what I would do, I don't know, like, are you looking for production, like production to do live trading with? I think you're good enough to just stick with a standard computer with Rhythmic hooked up and go with whatever future broker that uses Rhythmic and just run it from your home. I think that's good enough because you're splitting hairs for nothing for this so-called access. That happens at the matching engine. And as I said, that's the Globus matching engine in Aurora. That's for all the stuff we're talking about, that's where that's done. But within a few seconds off your home computer, I'm not sure if this really matters because if you really want what you're saying, the purpose of what you're trying to do, the only way to do that is again through Aurora as well. Just trying to highlight that. Just don't want you to get caught up in the hype of that. I don't know if it really matters. And interactive brokers, there's going to be a delay there, and that's why I probably always recommend Rhythmic as well, because I could set up what I have now with a rig, bunch of Python scripts, put it on Vulture in Chicago. Will it make a difference? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But that's an option I could do. And Vulture is probably no different than any of the other providers here. I'm pretty sure of that as well. But I'll check them out. If you guys got any further questions, let me know. As I said with the coding, that's all cool. So Unique FX comes back. Okay, what will be the time window to becoming a well-certified portfolio manager? Oh boy, that's a hard question. Like, what are we talking for accreditation? Are we talking CFA? Because the CFA could do it. Anyone can write it if you got the kahunas to do it. It's about 3-4 years. CFA is pretty good. certified portfolio manager. I think if you got some of the portfolio manager, like any kind of accreditation, if it would really help you. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get a job out of this. It may help. I don't think it will. Now, if you say you went and got a CFA with a PhD, now you're cooking. But all these other things, they may help. But if you have all this stuff and a CFA comes along, they're getting the job. So if you look at it from that point of view, because from a recruitment point of view, they're after the Ivy League schools, the Stanfords, the Harvards, the MIT's number one for sure, and those schools also the LSE, Cambridge, Oxford in the UK as well. So that's if you want career. That's what they want plus a CFA, and I'm pretty sure minimal now will be a PhD to garner their interest. Now, not necessarily. There's going to be some small moments there that if you do have a trading track record, that's alpha. You become like a Stephen Ducks on kinfo.com. Yeah, they'll come calling for sure, because there's going to be a lot of people with MIT hedge fund, or sorry, MIT PhD in math, let's say, and still can't get a job. It's nothing to do with their education. It's potentially them as people, how they sell themselves. But for sure, they'll be put at the front line for the interviews, no doubt. And remember now, with the market the way it is, with I don't know. Like, are there real jobs being created in these spaces in these firms? I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't even know if anybody really knows. But the AI is not helping, and a lot of firms are coming up with their own AI solutions as well. So this is the problem. So my personal opinion, if you focus on solo quant, become a coder, use the AI to your advantage, and as I said, focus on futures and options, and focus on CME and ICE exchanges. Then you're good to go. You should be good to go. And focus on trading and getting that alpha generated. Restaurant says AIs are secret weapon to successful, highly mathematical, advanced trading bot strategy. Exactly. Thank you. Yes, I think now with AI, it's changing the game so fast. What could take me weeks, I can do in not well minutes. Like I can build like this thing's going to present me once I get back to it. I'm going to have a new dashboard because Quinn offered it to me and said, "Yeah, I'll take it." It's powerful stuff. So we'll see, and it has the reasoning in as well. So I'm not sure where Fable and Opus 5 are at, but you put out a question like if you use Klein, the extension for VS Code, you have the plan phase, tell it what you want, it'll come back with a plan, and then you go through the discussion on that plan to get exactly what you want, and then it says you like it, press act, and boom, it starts generating code for you. We're at that point, and you can turn on your reasoning, and sometimes the AI itself, like a Quen, will have all that agent and reasoning built in. I am blown away what Quen can do. Quen 3.8. Yes, Quen builds beautiful. Yeah, and was not long where I would spend a lot of money on Opus to build out really good-looking dashboards. But I believe you. I'm not. This will be my first dashboard with Quen 3.8, so I'm pretty kind of excited with that as well. And Quen's really, really impressive. This new version 3.8 blows my mind. It's and right now I don't know if we can sit here and say, yeah, it's capable of working with a full-on GUI C++ project. I'm not sure. But if I kept it console only, CLI only, I could probably get away with it and keep the code base really small. I probably could do it, and I may revisit it. I don't know. But right now, the Python's working pretty good, so I'm very happy with that. If you guys got any comments or questions as well, this has been like last couple of weeks. I gotta admit, these sessions have been amazing, and I'm here to learn myself because a lot of people come in, and some people have presented themselves with some amazing advice and where they're at, and sharing what they're kind of doing as well, and specifically on the anomaly thing. Yeah, so I mean, I learned from it as well, so it's highly valuable for me as well. So you guys got questions or comments as well? Let me know. I mean, coming up to an hour and 40 minutes, which is pretty good. Yeah, sorry about my presentation tonight about first I thought it'd be Substack. That didn't work out. 15 minutes later, here I am on YouTube, so it worked out. Who's got questions or comments? I hope I'm answering your questions, Mr. Unique FX. It's going to be overwhelming as a journey, but it pays well. Restore comes back. Another good thing to do is tell DeepSeek to create you a plan to give another AI for building a trading bot. Gives yeah, I believe I haven't really used DeepSeek for a while because I've more been caught up in the hype of Kimi and Quen lately, but I do believe there's a new DeepSeek. Was it H4 or something like that came out? I can't remember. It's hard to keep track of them all. And I know Minimax just came out with one as well. Full Circle Perpetual, you're still here. The current market is kind of sketchy. How are you being defensive here where news can cause wild swings? Well, that's where the measurement of volatility comes in. This is one thing I will tell you I love about futures and options. Let's say Trump decides to set the world on fire, okay? Everything tanks, but there will be one thing that will move up called VIX. Whoosh, that thing will go up. It's so predictable. And you can only really trade like that on futures and options. And I'd have to look at the volume for VIX as well on options. Man, if you add some leverage on a very predictable trade, that's how you handle it. Just when things get wild, pour the gasoline on VIX because it moves. Because today I didn't really check for VIX because I don't think it was a big crazy market. The only thing that moved was oil. So that's how you can handle it. And the other thing is to answer your question, full circle, perpetual, as I mentioned as well, you can get to the point where you want to be able to record the bid and asks on whatever you're watching, build a log, and then get the AI to assess the log. That's so powerful because then it will tell you, oh yeah, the market makers are coming in and trying to suck in all as much of the retail dumb money, and it literally says that exactly just around 3 o'clock. And I know that as well that the best markets that with the highest volumes is going to be market open and market close an hour before and after. Unique FX. You did a video about a particular language that even C++ is even low. Yeah, I've done an entire introduction to that tonight. And the reason C++ can work. I just find it right now, I think I attacked it from a different angle, so I'm just focusing back on Python because it's easier. The AI can work better with AI with Python, but I may go with C++ and just focus on console only through terminal. No graphical user interface known as GUI. So hopefully that'll answer that. So you guys got any other questions or comments? I don't know if anybody new came in. I think we had a bunch of new people come in, which is good. Good, beginner and pretty advanced questions. So that's great. So if you have any other questions, uh, not at the moment, no problem. Restore. You should also create a web scraper for your bot that scans websites for news before entering and exiting a trade. Make it scan for news every 20 minutes or so when the bot is active. I do that already. I'm using professional grade RSS feeds. So I'm doing the same thing. Just get one of those RSS feed services, and then you got access to all the feeds from Bloomberg, CNNBC, all the big media outlets down to the big chatter futures forums. And that's what it does. It builds out a huge report, about a 50-page report from it. And that's where I get the trading bots from. And that's all from the day. And I can run that multiple times. And then as I'm sort of thinking of doing that, but it won't scrape websites. It'll just go in and ping the latest RSS feeds to see what's happening in the markets. Yeah, it's very effective, and it's kind of more, how shall I say, more legit, because web scraping, you'll run into all kinds of problems with the, where it's all limited. But if you just go through an RSS feed, that's more effective. Pay like, it's so cheap to get an RSS feed or service, like $70. So Unique FX came back. I'm really starting the journey pretty well. I've been able to build some good PineScript is very good for that. On TradingView, yeah, it's very good for trading. By vibe coding, yeah, it's fine too. With Gemini, and also built some signal bots as well. So you're well on your way. TradingView, there's nothing wrong with it. The problem with, well, you can still do pretty effective trading, futures trading and options trading on TradingView. One thing I love about TradingView market data, if you want to get cheap market data, like for the CME and both the ICE, you can do that for a couple extra bucks, not much more. And you don't pay the 140 that I'm paying. And you get the same data. The only problem is it's going to be in PineScript, which is fine, and do the AI with it. That's fine. But if you want to branch out and bring in new stuff that trading PineScript can't work with, that's when you move into things like you move into Python and the more advanced languages like C++. So that's a good option. I should mention that as well. Nuvi, I see a lot of strategies where people are using GEX data. Do you see any merit to it? I have not seen anything about GEX. I don't know. As I said, all these data, like there was, what's that other one, that big one that everybody uses? If it's only historical data, I don't see the point of it, because if you get Rhythmic, you pay, as I said, 40 for the market data, 100 for the API. You can download historical data through those APIs, and better probably too, and they can be bid and ask, and you get access to option chains. So you will not get that with these data providers, and it's really the option chains that are very valuable. Yeah, there's option gamma. That's just one, but there's like other types of strategies as well. Classic arbitrage hedging. There's another one I've been seeing a lot of. I just can't remember the name. The Fed as well. So yeah, I mean, but it's very limited, and you're paying the same money. As I said, you're better off to just stick with Rhythmic if you can. I'm not here to push Rhythmic. I'm just trying to give you my experience and for the value, because the other thing you do get with Rhythmic is the order entry, the order execution. And one thing I have not mentioned, if you want to get, you know how if you're following certain quotes, one of the C++ has a call in it, and it's only, I believe, C++, not in Python, and it's not in .NET APIs. But they do have a call in there, one library that focuses on aggressive market data to see if you do have the market makers after you, so you can test the market through these calls. And it's only C++ that gives. I've not seen that anywhere else, ever. So you're not, like, this is what I'm saying about Rhythmic. It's powerful, and it's once you get past the knowledge of it gives you so many advantages. Unique FX says, what about Dukas copy data for backtesting, multi-year data in the Google? That's fine. That's fine. If you're doing Forex, that's fine. But you got to remember, you got to go through the tricks and all the nonsense you get with these retail forex brokers. Duca's copy. If you're in Switzerland, you're okay because it's regulated. If you're going through, is it Latvia, one of those countries where you get set up, that's where I question Duca's copy as well. So be aware of that. Their data's fine, and test and play with, but once you get more serious, you will want to end up more on if you're going to go futures and all. And the thing about Forex, that's retail Forex, or CFDs are even worse. But go with the real McCoy, and that's again with Rhythmic, because that's coming off of either ICE or CME, and that's more close to the institution. Whereas you want to run away as much as you can from anything retail, because you want to be sticking as close as you can with institutional level stuff. It's really important. And in terms of Google Golab, that's fine too. I use VS Code from Microsoft, which is fine. It's free. So it's pretty good. So new VS, I know Rhythmic the best. Just wish the API integration easier. Yeah, you have to know that. I think I can't really say where it's at with AI in terms of knowledge because of the terms of service. It's a good guesser. I'll mention that. But you can work with a support to try and figure out. But yeah, you got to be a pretty advanced coder to really know how to read those documents and sequence them in a way. I wish I could give a better answer on that. It is a pain, I'm not going to lie. So I'll visit you one-on-one soon, sir, to cut off the bullshit of the traditional education system. Again, I don't know what your goal is, Mr. Unique FX. But as I said, you want to stay away from anything retail because there's so much, call it cronyism and corruption going on to the benefit to, let's say, the broker, where the CME or ICE, it's heavily regulated. So they're not going to do that stuff. And it's the real McCoy as well. What do you think about penny stocks? I don't think much. I just, like, penny stocks are kind of risky. Now, if you told me you have when I did stocks, you have stocks that are, like, first of all, penny stocks are heavily manipulated because of the penny stock promoters. Just watch Tim Sykes on it. And he's very good at that. And with anything under $10 can be manipulated. You want to make sure whatever company you're working with has at least a $2 billion market value, so it's not manipulated. But the problem is with stocks, you don't have a lot of forward guidance data to work with options and futures. There's a ton. And to be successful, you want to know where things are going in the future versus where it's currently at. And in the past, it don't matter, especially now in the volatile markets. Nuvi says Tim should be in jail. I think there's a lot to it. I've done his early stuff, and yeah, he's a he's a maniac on the hyper and stuff. I do think there's some legitimacy to what he's putting out, but just to watch the free stuff on his trading, and he'll talk about how stock promoters, these penny stock promoters, pretty well rip you off. And it's the same example I gave with SpaceX. So I wouldn't be comfortable trading stuff like that. Nor would I be comfortable now trading retail crypto or retail Forex. I would rather do, again, futures and options because it's not manipulated. That's the key. I mean, it's still manipulated, but it's going to be regulated. It's quote unquote regulated. Government blessed, regulated. You know what I mean? But that's as best as you can get in this market. Have you ever built your own scanner for yourself, or is it just trading strategy logic? No, I built out my own scanner. For you, full circle, perpetual. It's essentially, if you're looking at stocks, okay, you don't want to care about what happens now, and you don't care about what happens yesterday or a year ago. You want to know where things are at now. So, meaning you only want to focus on future, forward-looking data. So my question for most people would be, What are the forward-looking indicators you can go with? They're not technical analysis. The really only two ones that are forward guiding is what stock analysts say, professional stock analysts, and you can get some good feeds on that. And the only other one is guidance right from the company itself. In this market right now, it's very hard to get good guidance and pretty good, rock solid stock analysis that give you the buy or strong buy. I haven't really looked into it, but this is why I got out of stocks. Same with ETFs, but with futures and options, you have so much forward-looking data. That's the key behind it. So hopefully that'll help you out. And that's what I built in the screening is those two things. Built out a little screener formula, which was pretty easy. It worked really good. But in this economy right now, the way the stock market is, the opportunities are not right there. As I said, if you're in the futures market, just check out sugar, SB. It's looking pretty good, and it's outperforming everything right now. Hopefully, low float, low price, how market cap, Tim's typical pump it dump. Yes, that's exactly that as well. Restore says live data is king. Past results don't indicate future results. Exactly. I am going to assume you know what you're talking about, Restore I. Yeah, Restore Al Ofi. Yeah, but that's exactly it. If you want to, it's like this. I always do this comparison. If you want to hunt and kill a duck in the sky, you don't point your gun at where it's at now. You have to anticipate where that duck's going to be and fire based on that. And then that's how you get your duck out of the sky. And it's the same concept with trading. You have to anticipate where the price is going to be, not where it's at today. So you have to use forward-looking data. And there's not a lot out there when it comes to stock. And as Restorai says, with live data is important. And if you record the current, as I said, bid and ask level, you can do a lot with that, specifically a lot with AI. When are you giving out a discount on your computer course, sir? It's already, I'm going to say it's already discounted. For a long time, I had my futures and options course. It was $250. Nobody bought it. So I said, hey, it's going to go up to $5,000 because that's what the AI told me it's worth. So I jacked it up to $5,000. So if you want the discount, now's the discount because everything's going to go up. I think everything I charge for is going to go up at maybe potentially at least 5 times. Like right now, my current prices on my Substack is $19 a month for everything. People don't buy this stuff, but later tonight, it's going to go up to 95. It's just going to go up 5 times. Then people want their discount. Well, the discount was on. You ignored it. So that's when the discount is right now. And then I might give a discount, but we'll see because once I start advertising on Meta and the way I'm performing on Meta organically, I'd hate to see what my performance be like with Meta ads. And if they do, I just keep raising the price because it's going to be the demand. And if I can sign up people via that, that's a pretty one answer, I hate to say. But that will happen when I come back from Europe early October. That's going to be a big thing to do. Anybody else got any questions? Because everything's been cheap as well. Wow, $19 per month. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's cheap. So if you go, that website is what's it called? The orderbookedge.com. The orderbookedge.com. Right now it's $19, and I put out a couple of people took advantage of it, but it's going to go up to $95. And as I said, with Stephen Ducks, who's verified, his stuff's $800 a month. If you want something from him, well, you're going to pay $8,000. Why? Because he's verified, and he's profitable. He's been profitable for a long time. So that's what happens when you go verified. You could just pin it here, sir. I got it here. If you go into, if you want to do the algo trading stuff as a starter pack, you'll see at the bottom there's the two things. There's three. One's free. Two of them are like $50. I've already talked about it, but that will take you to the hftcode.com. So if you're wanting to learn, that's where I'd start. It's already pinned there. It's somewhere in the bottom of the stream. Depends where you are or what if you're on a phone or on a computer. But everything I have on YouTube will point you to the same thing. Just got to look for it in the stream. Anybody else got any questions, comments? Let me know. It's exciting. Just so you know, the longest stream I've done was 5 hours. I think 6 hours. I'm not sure if it was done on YouTube, but a while back I did quite a long set of sessions. It was very good. Anybody else? Questions, comments? This is a very good one. A very good one tonight. Anybody? See, I'm liquidated here. I got. In case you're in Canada, this is from Quebec, Montpellier. It's it's pretty popular. Soda water, club soda kind of thing. Anybody else got questions, comments? So I'll be doing another session next week. It's hard to say because I had a topic, and with the C++ problem, I just changed it like yesterday. So I changed the topic. I thought it'd be more relevant because it's more value in it. I just don't want people to waste their time spending $1,500 like I did and going down that C++ AI rabbit hole. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go on to watch this stream later on, and that will be that. So as I said, if you want to start coding, algo trading with Python, which is, as I said, the easiest language in the world, hftcode.com and those two products. I appreciate that. Appreciate the hearts. I was never comfortable with the heart emoticon, but everyone seems to do it. It gives me warm and fuzzy feelings. Thank you for that. Oh, what's that? A flying saucer I just saw? That's a new one. I don't know if it's a flying saucer. Oh, there's a whole pile of them. Someone's going crazy on them. Oh, 100% I know. That flying saucer one, I've never seen. I don't know. Apparently, yeah, there it is. Oh, is that a rocket? I don't know. If anybody's got comments or questions, let me know. I mean, well, 2 hours now. It's no problem. Oh, somebody dropped off as soon as you say that. One thing is, don't be a doom scroller. AI's coming after you if you do the AI. I do believe the AI is scary from a career point of view. A lot of people don't like to hear that. That's why the numbers drop off all of a sudden. Another thing to do is take TradingView Pine scripts and get AI to convert it to C++. Oh yeah, I'm sure you could do that. As I said, I've built as part of my C++ app to convert it from Python to C++. So I did that because I'm smart. What time is it for you in Nigeria in Unique FX? It's the same time as Europe. I think you're 6 hours ahead, so you must be staying up all night. Next question from Full Circle Perpetually, the first person here. Not at this time, but I will have more questions later. That's great. 222 locally, man. You're committed. Thanks for joining. I probably will do live streaming during working hours for trading. I'm not sure. I'm hoping to do it on Substack because, so I'd like to do that. Just got to get this Python stuff finished off. Oh yes, restaurant. You're in UK. Yeah, so you're 6 hours ahead. I do believe. Yeah, Nigeria and UK at the same time. For us, we're same time as I believe Brazil, like Rio, and is it Colombia? I think one of the Colombian cities were the same time, or maybe an hour behind. So if you got questions, let me know. Questions, comments, questions. One thing is Panama. I'm looking at Panama's exciting, and that's only 1 hour behind, which is good for trading. So That's pretty good, and it's kind of affordable too. Because here we're in Canada, or I'm in Canada, the affordability is just killer. Taxes even worse. I just got reassessed yet again. They're desperate for money here, as far as I'm concerned. The other course is in Substack, right? The one for 19 bucks. No, that's a newsletter. Yeah, that's a newsletter. So go check it out. As I said, everything's discounted now. Here's the thing: is once I start banging out what I'm banging out or wanting to bang out, yeah, I think things will go up. And I do use AI to get market value because it's very good at that. And like I said, I just jacked up my futures and option course to 5,000. It was 250. Now it's 5,000. And the packages that I list below, 300 bucks. That's the low end. It said I could probably charge as much as $1,000 for it because of the value it brings. And then you can add on consulting services and all kinds of crazy stuff. Anybody else got questions or comments? Let me know. I know certain people said they got nothing new. I mean, I have been on for 2 hours. Appreciate the highly engaging. I do know I'm in my fourth YouTube boot camp. YouTube loves those emoticons. Keep them coming. That just boosts up the stream on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube's trying to convince me I should do memberships on YouTube, but I'm getting way more love from Instagram, oddly enough, and Facebook too. So we'll see. So if YouTube algo's on there, yeah, now you know. Anyways, can you link level 2 data in trading view indicators? I believe so. There are level 2. Yeah, yeah, you do. Like, I know you can go sub-second. Yeah, or you have to use one of the Pine scripts to get that extra data that you're looking for sure. Wow, man, you're really good on the emoticons. Yeah, I believe so. But I was very impressed on TradingView. And just as a tip, wait it out to Black Friday in November to get your, was it 250 deal for the premium? Wow, keep them going, yeah. Yes, I just recode the indicator C++, then link it to your bot using level 2 data. Oh, there you go. I haven't done that with TradingView. I just thought it's 100% with Python. Maybe is that a new function they've added in, or has it always been there for the last year or so? This stream is a gold mine. No problem. Full circle, perpetual. That's what I'm here for. Thank you. Yep, them doom scrollers go right by. That's okay. It's you want to be part of the smart money. I'm not saying I'm smart money, but I try to be open and transparent as much as I can. As I said, that's why I do these. So if you guys got questions, let me know. See, when I say happy things, the number of people jumps up. What do you want to know? Oh, just went down again. So if you guys got further comments or questions, let me know. If not, I'll continue with this. Let me ask this for everybody on here. Do you guys want to see, now what I've done on my last long form video is I've done a complete end-to-end with that C++ application. Because I'm not going to be moving forward with that right now, do you want me to do the same equivalent video, but include the Python dashboards as a replacement? And I'll do a redo video on that. Just let me know with a yes, and I'll gladly do it. Unique FX, I really enjoyed every bit of tonight, though I joined late. Magic of YouTube allows you to watch the earlier parts of the stream, so do that. So full circle perpetual. I just need a couple more if you want. I'll definitely do that long form video with Python because just for you, full circle perpetual, I'll get it done. I think it's needed. I was looking forward to that C++ app. I really did, but it's not going to work with my setup. I have to figure out. Do I have any groups like Telegram and Discord? I used to. The problem with those is there's too many scammers. I was going to do WhatsApp, and you're more managing to boot out the scammers, the spammers. It's ridiculous. So I stay off those platforms. I'm going to tell you something. If you want to be around hot, top-notch traders, join Substack. You got really like Mike Burry's on there. You got I know FT's on there now. A lot of firms are joining Substack. That's where I'd go. And it has the same features of what you're looking for. You can do group chats on Substack, and I do not get negative comments one bit. And a lot of the comments are really good. So if you're looking for what you're looking for professionally, I would go with Substack for sure, which I'm on. That's the orderbookedge.com is a Substack publication, and it's a newsletter. Just to remind you, Unique FX, yes, and we'll love it if you can also do a full video on the roadmap for becoming a portfolio manager, starting the journey in 2026 to skip the trapped traditional educational system. Yeah, that's what I do. Here's what's going to happen. I'll say this as I said earlier, because this will be turned on into a short. Now I'll populate all my social media. What you want to do to get number one career path in finance, forget the coding, forget the quant research. You need to have those skills. But as a position, AI is probably going to do something with it. If you want to be the top gun in this whole space, you want to be a portfolio manager, meaning you're going to run a team of quant coders and quant researchers and other traders. You're going to run that desk. So that's why you get a few million packages. So let the AI do all your coding for you, but still needing the coding skills I mentioned earlier with the debugging, architecture, all that. Focus on Python if you're new to everything, and then enable you can reverse engineer it and turn everything into reports with quant research papers and reverse engineer that for the math. And more importantly, is focus on recording data, market data, live market data, and then run the AI on it, and then just ask what trading opportunities lie in these data sets, these logs, real market data. That's where you start learning things, because you have to focus on the trading as your number one skill. And once you do that, you can probably be at some point qualified to run a trading desk. And what you do with that is you set yourself up as a trading operator, a trader, a solo quant, do all your coding, and essentially get yourself develop a track record verified on something like kinfo.com, generate alpha, beat the markets, beat the market averages like S&P 500. Once you do that, post everything on LinkedIn, you will get attention. I can guarantee that. And that's the video I can give you as a short. Hopefully that'll happen. So that's the second time I mentioned this. So that's the video I can provide for you, Mr. Unique FX. Best thing to do is to make it invite only, accept only those who have taken part in your YouTube streams. Keep the scammers out. Yeah, I could do that. I have many options. I could do, YouTube memberships, something to look at. The problem is it becomes too much to maintain. So ultimately, originally I'm trying to do that with the quantlabsnet.com. People don't really want to be part of the forums. Don't ask me why. Substack I think is pretty easy, and definitely with what I'm going to have as a Shopify store and selling trading robots strategies in Python as a subscription service. I do think there's a market for that. If you think that's the case, give me a hell yeah. And then I think there is, because it's all ready to go, and I could put up profitable ones as well, and those would be verified if I have a good track record to show. Everything's to do with the scammers and Discord. I'm going to give you an example. Hell yeah, that's great. Thank you. You're very encouraging. The thing is, when I was on Discord, and I did it a second time. Thank you, Mr. Restore. Yeah, so that's great. So when it came to Discord, we had myself and a moderator. I know I was going to get cloned because I'm the moderator of this little Discord group, but the moderator got it copied as well. And they went around with his name and saying, "Hey, get my crypto. Yeah, you can sell my crypto. You can buy my crypto." And that's all it is on Discord. If you want to be among highbrow, intelligent, professional traders, as I said, just for yourself, be on Substack. I am amazed on who's on there. So that's the best place to go. Mohammed El Larian's on there. You got Ray Dalio. Every day I go on there and it's pushing another new person. I go, wow, that guy's on. That female's on Substack. So yeah, it's very good. Substack. Yeah, Discord's not secure, full of vulnerabilities. I tried Discord and it's just no. No, I've had people. I've joined one group and I had like 5 people of some identity trying to sell me crypto stuff. No, thank you. I just don't like it. It's a turnoff. And if I want to bring in professional traders, I can guarantee you they will not be on. They will not be on Discord or Telegram, and that's a guarantee. But Substack probably. So you have to remember that as well, because I don't want to deal with people like in the world of Discord. Telegram's fine. I have no problem with Telegram, but doing a community or a group on Telegram, I've tried it. It's just it's horrendous. I don't recommend it. I removed Discord from the phone PC. Yeah, I'm still have it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it. Maybe I'm too old for it. I know there's a lot of people like Discord for groups and stuff. I'm sure there's some good things on it. I'm just not for me at this point. I tried to go back a few months ago and it didn't last. And the other thing, when I have about 300 people in this Discord. Nobody responds to it. So what's the point, right? So, but with Instagram now, people are responding. You got folks like you on YouTube. So that's where the fun is, and it's real traders as well. So, you guys got any other trading related stuff or algo trading questions or comments? Let me know. This is for all the new people coming in, if there is anybody. If not, I'll just give it I'll end it tonight. I know some of you. Thank you for being part of this. Let me know if there's a better time for you folks in Europe. I don't know. One day I may end up in Europe or somewhere else, not North America, for typical YouTube gloom and doomers. Same reason to get out. It's just not the same here as it used to be. YouTube is the best, but it's the hardest to get a good following. Oh, it's horrible. YouTube's horrible for it. It's so, as I said, I'm part of a YouTube boot camp right from YouTube. I do everything they want me to do. It's just too competitive. So I'm having success on Instagram, funny enough. So Nuvi came back. I just literally came across ClearStreet a few minutes ago. They are now offering ultra fast execution. Wow, 24 microseconds. Wow. ClearStreet. I have to look into them. One thing I need to know about that if you do get access to Aurora, there'll be so many providers you've never heard of that will give you unique data feeds that you won't get anywhere else. But again, that's a privileged thing to be part of, and you pay for that, like $5,000. So, but they're not known, and a lot of the HFT shops use this as part of their secret weapon. Yeah, you're really tired tonight. No, I'm not tired. I'm what's the word? Old? I'm in my late 50s, so that's okay. Oh yes, Nuvi API and MCP is available. Yeah, there's a lot of options available when it comes to AI. I think MCP will need to bring in as there are apparently with the C++ problem, you can set up some kind of MCP server and it will run your code against legacy code, so it makes sure that it doesn't wipe out your current code. So that is an option. Another one is yeah, API. Oh, I'm sorry. You're probably referring to the Clear Street. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's a good topic to mention. Yeah, just generally, MCP is very good. Also with RAG. RAG is very powerful, where you can build models. It's kind of like agents and have it readjust, on the fly. Yeah, API. That's what I thought. API and MCP, Clear Street. MCP would be very good. I love MCPs. You can do a lot with MCP. I think that's definitely RAG and MCP are the future. And API is good too. But MCP, yeah. Agents, I'm not sure. I think that's more hype. You're going to pay a lot for that. I don't know if you guys have seen the OpenAI real time. So they're going to have AI turned on 24/7 for your agents. Can you imagine how expensive that would be? But that's more for enterprises that are probably paying well into the thousands per month. So that's, yeah, OpenAI real time. I haven't looked into it yet, but I know it exists. Basically, real time. Well, let me tell you this. One of the big challenges I had with C++, yeah, I agree when it's best to run locally with AI. There's a lot of advantages there. But as your new updates come out, you got to replace that hardware as well. So that's a challenge. But with a C++, what I finally accomplished, I had my C++ app be able to query to pretty well any model, and come back and use that AI request in C++, which was very difficult to do. I managed to get it working, and then as I went along, what happened was it always get wiped out. So then other parts of the app would fail, and that was because the AI is wiping this out, wiping that out. But the critical one was the capability to request to the outside world to do prompting and then get back a result in C++. And then it just got wiped out and everything got shut. It was just a complete mess. I'm sure there's a way to maintain it. I'm sure there is. I just don't know. And to do C++ with AI is very expensive. I'm just a one. I'm a one person show. So when you get a sticker shock of like $1,500, it's like I don't want to go down that road again. A couple $100 a month, fine, but not over 1,000. That's ridiculous. Anyways, who's got further questions or comments? All some of them will join in and start chatting. And keep it going for 6 hours. Anybody else got questions or comments? Otherwise, we can shut it down. Like we've been going 2.5 hours. It's great, and I can get some nice clips out of it, and they get blasted throughout all my social media. Anybody got questions, comments? If not, I don't have a problem shutting down. I really don't. It's not because I don't want to be here. Some of you have been online 2 in the morning where you are. Okay, what I'll do is I'll do a go in once, twice, 3 times, and we'll shut her down. So I'll do a go in once. Oh, also, if you haven't subscribed, go to my main website, quantlabsnet.com. In there, you can subscribe right off the front page, the home page, or look for Learn. I got a little C++ book you can download as part of that, so you can do that. Also, what I recommend is to, if you want the advanced stuff, yeah, go to theorderbookedge.com. Really look into Math Random for bots. Ask AI and you'll be surprised in what it says you could do. I'll definitely do that. Math Random. Learn many things tonight. Very good. That's what it's about. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, that's going to be important. Yeah, got it noted. Thank you. Anybody else got questions? If not, we'll do the dreaded going once. Oh, now we're up to 11 people. If you got questions, let me know. Type them up. Okay, going once, going twice. No, okay, going three times. I guess we're done. Thank you very much for being part of this. This will get rendered probably in the next half hour, and you can watch from the beginning whatever you might have missed if you're into it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all your questions. This was very good. And as I said, thank you for the tips from everybody giving me those tips. Those are very good. I'm going to look into them. And no problem, guys. Restorai and Unique FX, thank you for your questions. I really appreciate it. Alrighty, I'll give you a bit of you. If anybody new, going once, questions, comments, going once, going twice, going three times. I guess we're done. Thank you. And we shall see you hopefully next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Over and out, and have a good night. And I'll be on YouTube again. I'll stick to YouTube. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye.